All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over the quiz that was given on February 13th. Now, problem number 1 on this quiz said quantity x plus y to the third power. Now, reminding you, do exponents distribute over addition? Okay, do we cube the x? Is this equal to x cubed plus y cubed? No, this is the worst mistake you can make in this class. Rather, exponents mean write it 3 times. Okay, so reminding again, x times y to the third power. Yes, we cube the x and cube the y because this is multiplication. This is xy times xy times xy. Okay, and so we have 3 x's multiplied together, giving x cubed. Y times y times y is y cubed. Yes, we cube the x and cube the y when we have multiplication, but quantity x plus y to the third, if we do the same thing, x plus y times x plus y times x plus y, you definitely see multiplication meeting addition. And what property applies when multiplication meets addition? Distributive property. Okay, so we're going to use distributive property here, or the trick we know as FOIL. So quantity x plus y to the third means quantity x plus y times quantity x plus y times quantity x plus y. And we FOIL. So we're going to ignore the third one, just focus on the first 2. So take the first term and multiply by both. X times x gives x squared. X times y gives xy. And now take the second term and multiply by both. Y times x is the same as, put them in alphabetical order, x times y. And y times y is y squared. And we don't ignore this last binomial, but rather keep it around. So quantity x plus y, put parentheses around this first group. Now, we're done multiplying, now we're adding. Does anything match x squared? No. But does something match xy? Yes, we add what's in front. So 1 plus 1 gives 2xy plus y squared. And this is all multiplied by quantity x plus y. Now, we're not done multiplying. We have to do this again. So we're going to take the first term, multiply by both. X squared times x is x to the third. And if you think, you have 3 terms. Each term is going to multiply by 2. How many terms are we going to have? Okay, so this term is going to give 2. This term is going to give 2. And this term is going to give 2. That's a total of 6. So you should have 6 terms when you're done here. X squared times x is x to the third. X squared times y is x squared y. Just glue it together. 2xy now multiplies by both. 2xy times x, we have 2x times x is x squared and y on the end. And 2xy times the y is 2x, y times y is y squared, so 2xy squared. And now take the y squared and multiply by both. Y squared times x, putting it in alphabetical order, is xy squared. And then the y squared times the y is y to the third. Now we're done multiplying, we're now adding. Does anything match x to the third? No, so we write x to the third. Does anything match x squared y? Yes, we have an x squared y here. Add what's in front. 1 plus 2 is 3, x squared y. Cross these out. Okay. Xy squared matches xy squared. What matches doesn't change. Add what's in front. 2 plus 1 is 3xy squared. Cross these out. And then lastly, a y cubed on the end, and we are done. Okay, so this is fully simplified. Number 2. Problem number 2 says quantity negative 3 squared, x to the fourth, y to the negative third, all over negative 9 squared, x to the eighth, y to the negative 8th power, all this to the negative 2 power, reminding you we deal with outer exponents last. Do you see any addition in this problem? Hopefully you say no. We are seeing just multiplication division, so we're using laws of exponents. Now question, is the exponent affecting the negative and the 3? Yes, because we have parentheses. So we're squaring the negative and the 3, which means negative 3 times negative 3, which gives us a positive 9. Okay. Now, on the bottom, does the exponent affect the negative and the 9? No. The exponent just affects the 9, or just affects the immediately preceding variable or number unless there's parentheses. So we're just squaring the 9. This means negative 9 times 9. Just squaring the 9, so this 9 times 9 is 81. Put the negative out front, so we have negative 81. And generally, we like to put the negative in the numerator, so I want you to just take the negative and let it float to the top. Put the negative on top. Now, x to the fourth and x to the eighth. Do these move? No. So leave x to the fourth alone, leave x to the eighth alone because their exponents are positive. Remember, we want to make negative exponents positive. Now, does y to the negative third move? Yes, it moves to the bottom, becoming y to the positive third, and y to the negative eighth moves to the top, becoming y to the positive eighth, and all this is taken to the negative 2 power. Now, we're not done with what's on the inside. Now we're going to cancel. So we cancel 9 with 81, divide them each by 9. 9 divided by 9 is a 1. 81 divided by 9 is 9, so we end up with a negative on top and a 9 on the bottom. Negative representing negative 1. And 4x's cancel with 8x's, leaving 4x's on the bottom. Okay? And 3y's cancel with 8y's, leaving how many y's? It leaves 5y's on top. Remember, this is a matter of subtracting, so we get y to the 5th on top, and all this to the negative 2 power. And now negative exponent on the outside. Negative exponent on the outside means now take what's inside and flip it. When we flip it, nothing changes on the inside. Just flip it. So the 9x to the 4th is now on top, and the negative y to the 5th is now on the bottom. Okay? All this to the, now we flipped it, exponent changes from negative to positive, and now we square everything inside. Square the 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Square the x to the 4th. We multiply the exponents, we get x to the 8th. Square the negative. Squaring the negative 1 is negative 1 times negative 1, which is positive 1. We don't write the positive 1. And then square the y to the 5th. We multiply the exponents, we get y to the 10th. And this is the final answer. Now, number 3 is kind of easier, I think. Number 3 was quantity x plus 2 multiplied by quantity x squared plus 2x plus 4. And notice we have multiplication meeting addition, so again we FOIL here. We take the first term, multiply by all 3, and then we're going to take the second term and multiply by all 3. So let's start with the first. First term is x times x squared gives x to the 3rd. X, now take the first term, multiply by the second. X times 2x is 2x squared. Now the x times the 4 gives what? 4x. And now take the 2 and multiply by all 3. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times the 2x is 4x, and 2 times the 4 is 8. Now we're done multiplying, we're now adding. Does anything match x cubed? No, we're done. So cross this out. Does anything match x squared? Yes, so we add what's in front. 2 plus 2 is 4, and the x squared does not change. Now, cross these out. Does anything match your x term? Yes, x matches x, that does not change. 4 plus 4 is what? 8x. Cross these out, and we have a plus 8 on the end, and we are done. Now, number 4 is probably the toughest, I think, for most students. Let's see what this says. Negative, this is question 4. Negative 1/3, xy to the negative 3rd, and this is on your test, so this is one to pay attention to. Multiply by quantity 9, x cubed y, minus 12 x squared y squared minus 8 xy cubed. And my question is, what are you looking at here? Okay, what is this called? Well, you don't see any addition. So we're thinking in terms of monomial, but notice you have a negative exponent. So this is not a monomial. This is actually negative 1. And what else is on top with the negative 1? Okay, so negative 1 is on top. What else is on top? X has a positive exponent, so we have negative 1x, which is written as what? Negative x on top over what's on the bottom? A 3 on the bottom, and what else? The y to the negative 3rd is moves to the bottom, becomes y to the positive 3rd. You're looking at a rational expression because you have variables where? Variables in the denominator. So this is rational expression. Now, it's better to leave it in this form and then just multiply. Okay, so when multiplication meets addition, we distribute. Negative 1/3 times 9. Well, negative times positive is negative. 9 divided by 3 is 3 times 1 is 3. X times x cubed, we add the exponents and get x to the 4th. Y to the negative 3rd times y to the 1st. You add the exponents, negative 3 plus 1 gives negative 2, so y to the negative 2 power. And now, negative 1/3 times the negative 12. Negative times negative is positive. 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 1 is 4. X times x squared is x to the 3rd. And y to the negative 3 times y squared, add. Negative 3 plus 2 is what? Negative 1, so we get y to the negative 1 power. And then lastly, negative 1/3 times the negative 8 gives positive. Negative times negative is positive, and 8 divided by 3 does not work, so we look at this as 8 over 1. So 8 times the top, 8 times 1 is 8, and 1 times 3 is 3, so we get 8 over 3. And x times x gives x squared, And y to the negative third times y to the third gives y to the what? 0. And remembering from the last lesson, we are assuming that variables are not 0. So we don't know what y is, but we definitely know that y is not 0. And if y is not 0, then it's some other number. Another number like, say, 7. Okay, 7 to the 0 would be 1. 8, maybe y is 8. 8 to the 0 would be 1. So we know that y to the 0 is a value equal to 1, and we can ignore it. So go ahead and erase it. You don't have to write y to the 0. And is this a final answer? No, we have negative exponents, so we have to get rid of the negative exponents. Remember that negative exponents shift just within their own product. Remember that addition separates. Addition separates the products. So the y to the negative 2 moves to the bottom of its own product. Does the negative 3 move? No. Negative 3 stays on top. X to the fourth stays on top. Over y to the negative 2 becomes what? Y to the positive 2, or y squared. And now we have 4x cubed. The 4x cubed stays on top. The y to the negative 1 moves where? To the bottom, becoming just a positive y to the first. And plus what? 8 on top. What else is on top? Well, the x squared is also on top with the 8. If it has a positive exponent, it's on top. Over what? 3. So this is our final answer. Remember, we're adding. Things don't match, so you're done. Okay. Number 5 said 4x cubed y minus 3xy plus 7x. And the question here is, what is the operation? The operation is what? Addition. And when we add, something must match. Does anything match x cubed y? No. Does anything match xy? No. Since nothing matches, this is already simplified. So full credit was to do nothing. Already simplified is what you should have written. Okay? Already simplified. And lastly, number 6, a couple things to name. Number 6 says, name this. Okay? Was 4x to the third minus 7x squared plus 4x all over 2. And we notice there's no variable in the denominator. Is this a rational expression? Yes. But rational expression is too general. Be more specific. Since there's no variable in the denominator, we name it by the numerator. So this is what? This is a trinomial. So name it by the numerator if there's no variable in the denominator. Trinomial. Is this a rational expression? Yes. But more specifically, it's a trinomial. Okay? Falls in the realm of polynomials. Number 7, we have 4x squared minus 7x plus 3 multiplied by quantity x minus 2 to the negative 1 power. Now here you have to see that you have a trinomial multiplied by what? A binomial. Notice multiplication. And do negative exponents mean shift within a product? Yes, but you have a product of how many things here? You have a product of 2 things, a trinomial and a binomial. So the negative exponent will shift within the product, or shift this binomial within the product, and this will move where? This will move to the bottom. So we have 4x squared minus 7x plus 3 over the x minus 2 moves to the bottom, the whole unit because of the parentheses. The whole unit, x minus 2, moves to the bottom, and the exponent becomes what? The exponent becomes a positive 1, and we don't have to write it. So we have, as a final answer here, or I should say, rewriting this, we have 4x squared minus 7x plus 3 over binomial x minus 2, and we're supposed to name this. Okay, so naming this is what? Is there a variable in the denominator? Yes. So since there's a variable in the denominator, we can just say rational expression. That's as specific as we can be. Okay, rational expression. And that concludes this quiz.